Life is hard, and so am I. You'd better give me something so I don't die.
Anybody who studies the Quran seriously knows that Allah records on multiple occasions how prophets were insulted, how they were made fun of, how they were rejected in the most obscene ways, and how even the prophets themselves felt the pain of those disbelievers making fun of them, making fun of them, making fun of them. Now in many parts of Southeast Asia and those communities that are even here, there are many temples like that what they are idol-worshipping religions. Or even if they don't worship the idol, they have the idol there so they can concentrate or do some kind of rituals and ceremonies. You'll notice one thing in common. They all have some kind of ceremonial food that they put in front of the idol for blessings. Either they'll put milk there, I don't know if ice cream or something else, but they'll put something there, right? And then they'll do their whole rituals, and this is blessed food. So if a tourist walks into the place, some guy who's not a Buddhist, is not a Hindu, is not one of those things. He walks into the temple and he says, "Oh, look, Snickers bar. Look, Snickers bar. Look, Snickers bar." How they were made fun of, how they were rejected in the most obscene ways, and how even the prophets themselves felt the pain of those disbelievers making fun of them. Nuh alayhi salam complains about how people found him disgusting, and that they would plug their ears, with their fingers and walk away from him and pull their clothes back as a show of insult to him. And our Prophet is no exception, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This Quran that honors our Prophet also at the same time records the most hurtful words that were said to him, that the Prophet himself would have to recite and remind himself of the words that were said about him. Sahir, magician, majnoon, insane, kadhab, a perpetual liar. So many accusations are made against our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they're all recorded in the Quran. Allah wants us to remember that this is a fact, that all prophets, though they are the most noble of Allah's creation, and that Allah Himself has honored them, at the same time are people that will face the worst kinds of insults and the worst kinds of ridicule. But what is supposed to be the reaction? And if anybody's supposed to be angry and just be overwhelmed with rage when the Prophet is insulted, I would argue it would be his companions, whose faith, radiallahu anhum ajma'in, can't even be compared to yours and mine. But how come they don't react the way we do? How come they're not having any protests? How come they're not going out and yelling and screaming in rage? Because they understand that the Quran didn't just come to give them a love for their Prophet, but also to guide that love. He walks into the temple and he says, "Oh, look, Snickers bar." And he picks it up and tries to eat it. What are they going to do? This is special food. You can't touch that. This is for that guy over there, the giant statue that's staring at you. It's for him. But you know what happens all the time when you leave food open? Flies show up. Isn't that the case? So the temple is open, food is sitting there, the idol's in front, and flies show up. And these guys are worshiping this God, and they're begging him for, rain to come, or they're begging him for the flood to stop, or they're begging this false God, or they're begging this false God, or they're begging this false God for, a child or whatever else. وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ. Be patient over whatever they say. I'm fascinated by this ayah because the word ma means whatever. Whatever they say. Not whatever they've said, whatever they might even come up with. And the mudari' form in the Arabic suggests what they may have said in the past, but the present and even the future till this day. The Prophet's policy is to be patient himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Where in the Quran does it justify our anger like this? And actually, is our anger even justified? If anything, I argue, the one thing we should feel towards those who hate us and make hateful speech towards Muslims is sorrow. We should feel sorry for these people. They can't hurt the Prophet. They can't take away his honor. It was given from the sky. It was given from Allah. Nothing on earth can take it away. No article, no cartoon, no film, no speaker, no hate speech, no form of art. It's not going to take away the dignity of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in the middle of it all, the tourist is not allowed to eat that food, but the fly comes
And it sits down on that chocolate milk and takes a few sips and flies off. And can that God do anything? No. That God can't do anything. The foundations of their belief are crushed in front of their eyes by flies. The foundations of their belief are crushed in front of their eyes by flies. The foundations of their belief are crushed in front of their eyes by flies. By flies. And if the idea is that they created the flies, then at least the flies should worship them. If they are the creator of the fly, why should the fly come and disrespect them in this way? You can't even create a fly. And even if the fly violated your religion, took something from your God's food, those gods can't get it back. لَا يَسْتَنْقِذُوهُ مِنْهُ. They can't retrieve it. And this happens in front of your eyes all the time. Don't you ever think, ضَعُفَ الطَّالِبُ وَالْمَطْلُوبُ. The one seeking, the one in pursuit, and the one being pursued are both weak.